and gentlemen, welcome to an awesome episode of Game, which has gotten in the way of me playing my minion rush. But you know, as everybody tells you, you, the people, are the most important people around. I am your host, Big Pimpin' J. As always, let us know what you think about what's going on. Here's our information right here. Connect with us. Let us know what you think. We love your feedback, even more so than some of our cheeseburgers. Today's topic, we're going to delve into something that's, kind of hitting the news right now. We want to know why Hollywood seems to have issues with doing a strong, female-led comic movie. There's been a lot of issues with people getting upset that Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman and why the comic movie genre coming out right now is a male-dominated deal. Joining me today is one of my favorite sexists in the world. We got GQ to the right. How you doing, man?
Favorite sexist? I'm sure. I don't know how many sexists you know, but
hey, James Brown says it's a man's world. I ain't worried about it.
I'm the reason most people's girlfriends are watching the show right now.
Well, now see, there is that, and then there is always the fact that women love the bald head. To my left, we got my mighty man Waffles. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right today.
He's a bit more laid back. I see you rocking the sweater today, man. So
yeah, it's cold out here in the D, man.
It is, man. The struggle is real. Yeah. Guys, what is going on, man? I mean, why is there all this turmoil over Gal Gadot? What is it that Hollywood just can't seem to get right? Gentlemen, game on.
Well, I think it's kind of the comic book's fault for the past, I say, 20 or 30 years, the way they drew the comic book women, with the exceptionally large breasts and...
You mean real women don't have super huge boobs?
Majority of women don't, no, and like big muscles and the 5'10", it's kind of hard to... There are women out there like that, but there's not a lot of actresses out there like that, that you can go out and just grab and say, hey, you play Wonder Woman or She-Hulk or...
Is it going back to the Jessica Rabbit line, I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way.
Exactly.
Is it the fact that the reason we're not seeing a big slew of things because of the way that they're drawn, or because that people just don't want to buy into it?
They kind of toned down, it wasn't like in the 90s, that's when it really started kicking off, with the boobs and all that popping out there.
That was Jim Lee.
Jim Lee, yeah.
Huge,
and then everybody followed suit after that because that was the style that everybody wanted to see. And the other thing is, a lot of the actresses, they don't want to put in the work, like the training, for martial arts and stuff like that.
But didn't Halle Berry put in all the work?
No, she didn't. No, she set all that back like another 10, 15 years.
Yeah, she did.
And I don't think has it really been like a good.
Well,
comic book wise movie. After that, it hasn't really been one.
Here's where
that.
they tried to do it back in the, I guess it would have been like the 80s, maybe even slightly. No, it's probably the 80s. Was Supergirl. They had Helen Slater. Faye Dunaway was like the villain in the movie. The movie was completely cheesy. It was one of those like Warner Brothers, I guess, had the DC license, or they were in the middle of acquiring it. So like the only Superman reference they had was like a poster of him like in the movie. I'm like. Right. That's his cousin, though. Like, you could have had Christopher Reeves come in and do a quick cameo or whatever. It would have been, it would have been amazing back then.
The cameo didn't exist until the 2000s. So, yeah. I mean, it just it never crossed our mind. I'm like, wait a minute, maybe we could put him in one room, but no.
So then aside from what Scarlett Johansson has been able to do, which is actually take Black Widow and kind of make her a little more tangible. I mean, granted, the woman is beautiful, but she can also act. She actually has some range.
She can also play an Asian lady too, so Japanese. But we'll get to that later. So.
It's a whole separate issue. But let's look forward to ask the question as far as if they were going to start doing more female-fronted movies, what is it that they're going to do? Because recently, what Marvel's been able to do with their Miss Marvel comic is really bring a lot of people in and get people really interested. That comic's doing very well, and there's a lot of talk of them doing a Miss Marvel movie. So if they're going to do a Miss Marvel movie, who would you bring in to put in that lead role? What would your storyline be? How are you going to attract the non-people like us, geeks, and get people to watch this film? What can you do with that? Because Superman, household name. Batman, household name. Green Lantern. But
they tried.
How many, aside from Wonder Woman out there, how many strong female-fronted comic people are there?
Well, the good thing about that is there's lots of blondes in Hollywood, so they'll figure that out. But they need to set it up in one of the whatever Avengers movie or whatever movies they got coming out. They have to set it up in one of those movies. So they go, oh well, she looks like an interesting character, and then they come out the movie after. They just can't come out with the movie because,
You mean
It kind of worked with Guardians of the Galaxy, but
Storm movie won't work?
no, it won't.
A Jubilee movie won't
There
work?
will never be a Storm movie.
A Spider-Woman movie
Ever.
won't work?
Spider-Woman, maybe, but they have to build that up a little bit more in the comic book wise. I know she's got some redesign coming out in the comics where they finally changed their costume.
The first time since I've been alive.
Exactly, yeah. But
I don't know. I think what they need to do as far as to get it going is avoid doing stuff like Elektra. Like Elektra was. I'm
You
sorry.
know, I had just forgot about that.
so have I.
No, but here's the thing, though, because here's right to the points that you were making. They tried.
They tried.
They brought her in Daredevil because it was kind of an interest. It's a character that's
An integral part of Daredevil's mythos.
exactly. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, let's spin it off, and they didn't put any extra thought behind how are we going to spin it off because we killed her in the movie. So it's like you're just going to spin it off though, and it was just the movie was all over the place. They had mystical ninjas, and it was just
no assassinations, anything, because that's what she was, an assassin.
Yeah, so it's like it came off like really, really stupid. Now, like I said, Miss Marvel, like you were saying, they've already, said that's coming out in 2017 or something
I think
like
it
that.
is, yeah.
So that's already set. I have faith in Marvel Studios, not so much Fox and Sony, but like they already got a plan. So you already know that there's something in place now as far as who's going to play her. He said, there's a billion blondes out there in Hollywood. So, I mean, that's one half of it. The other half is, can she act? Does she look the part? Because you guys know me. I'm much a stickler for if you have this busty woman, you better find a busty actress to play her. I don't want to see like any more.
You didn't like the Chun-Li movie?
No. And I like her as an actress, and that's the worst part. But it's just like she's not Chun-Li. It's like she's all of 5 foot nothing, and she's sorry, women, she's probably a B cup, so that's not really going to work.
She's kind of twiggy. I also think one of the issues that you're going to run into is that you have to have a compelling story. Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, Wonder Woman aside, that everybody and their brother seems to know who they are. What sort of compelling stories do we have in the comic universe? Now, granted, there are hundreds of them. I don't want to sit here and sound like I'm a complete idiot and just say that there's Wonder Woman is the be-all, end-all. But how many compelling stories are you going to tell that you don't need a huge arc or that you don't need a multi-billion-dollar budget to pull off? I mean, you said that you're a huge fan of what Marvel's doing. Let's flip it to see what's DC doing. What is Image going to do? I mean, I remember that horrible Witchblade show they did when we were younger, and good grief.
And the worst part is, I was sitting in on an interview with her, and I point blank asked her, I was like, why do you think they changed that costume so drastically? And she actually she was actually upfront about it. She was like, do you see these? I'm sorry about the microphone. I apologize, everybody running audio. Do you see these? They had to cover that up because I don't have them, and the comic book character apparently does.
Yeah.
And she was honest about it. I'm like, Yancey Butler, we love you. But I mean, realistically, they're talking about doing Vixen, which is weird. It kind of came out of left field. Yeah, it came out of left field. I'm like, I remember her from Justice League cartoon.
But it's like you need a Wonder Woman movie. Like you have Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Like those are like the three biggest DC characters, and it's just like, well, where is this? Like TV show, anything like it's just been since the old Wonder Woman TV show. It hasn't been anything since. Like
the Carter, man.
It's just like it's just been nothing. Like they need that franchise or movie to succeed,
Well, you really do.
And then that'll open up the gates for female comic book movies or just
okay.
But see, I think that's like you said, that she's going to essentially be the ambassador yet again for female comic book characters, because if her movie fails, they about to put that on the back burner for another 50 years. Or so.
Sadly, as that may sound, that's the way the industry works. So.
Okay, so then if we're going to start writing comic book movies that are female fronted, who are some of the candidates that are going to work?
Yeah, actress wise or just comic book wise or anything?
Character wise in general, because I'll be honest, I would love to see like a Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn type movie.
Oh, you mean like a Rogues type movie?
Yeah, something like that. I would love to see, some of the stronger female mutants that Marvel has done over the years. But I mean, what do you think is out there that people could actually do that would be a compelling story?
Got to go with something like, I don't know, Lady Zorro or some of these other like offshoot books that are out there, because Tomb Raider was the best. Tomb Raider was another one that would have a really good chance, and they just didn't take it seriously enough. And then supposedly Angelina got mad about it and wanted the second one to be better, and the second one was kind of halfway worse. So it's like, and I'm sorry, that one writes itself. It's female Indiana Jones.
It's not difficult.
Yeah.
What's the issue?
the template's already there. Just put a great actress in place, good, get one of the stories, pull it, something from the game, and then there you go. And they messed that one up. So I don't know.
Yes, sorry. Angelina Jolie and spandex can only go so far without having things. What do you think that there's something on the DC side?
The movie-wise, like the only, like you said, Vixen and Wonder Woman. Anything else would have to be a TV series. Like, I don't know, Zatanna.
Zatanna would be
like
a cool show because like a great example. I think what they've done with Constantine, contrary to what some people think, has turned into a pretty solid show. I think if you were to take something like that and put Zatanna as the head of that, that might actually fly.
Yeah.
Then the question becomes is who do you get to actually be her?
You're gonna have to go with somebody like, I don't know. She's dark-haired, busty, so you probably
Pale skin.
Pale skin. Oh, great. You're gonna have to go to a fitness model. I'm sorry to say, that's realistically, that's where your staple is. I'm sorry, anybody out there, pick up a Muscle Mag or like an Iron Man magazine when they have their swimsuit issue. That's casting call right there. All you got to do is give them some acting classes. It's not difficult.
Well, now hold on, see, because let's face it, the bane of a lot of these cheesy movies over the years have been the simple fact that they can't find an actress or an actor to play a part. Part of that Supergirl travesty wasn't so much the fact that you had Faye Dunaway and whatever her name was trying to do this, it's that whatever her name was, whose name escaped me, couldn't act.
Oh, Helen Slater was a horrible choice, but she even still didn't really look the part. She was blonde. That was the only thing they had in common.
Exactly, and you just can't grab random blonde girl and say, here, be this role. And quite
works
frankly,
for cosplay, but
And that's what.
well, now see, there is that.
But here's my problem with that, though. With today, the way things work today, with the amount of money that's going into these things, you can send that person like, hey, we're going to pull you off of this. Whatever you're doing for the next 6 months, stop doing it. You're going to acting classes for a month, solid. No breaks, no nothing, and you're going to get because we're about to pay you a couple of $1 million to put on a costume and act.
Right. And see,
So it can be done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, we're winding things down. I think, our wonderful crew decides they don't want to give me any time cues today, so we're just going to keep rambling. All right, you have one franchise, female-fronted, strong lead. What are you going to do? What property are you going to grab and why?
What property am I? You know what? I'm going to do Harley Quinn. And the reason, I know that sounded really bad the way I said it, however.
Hey, I ain't mad at you, man. I mean, get in
she's
line,
really
man.
popular right now.
I would have honestly taken Pauly Perrette from NCIS.
Pauly Perrette could work.
A couple years ago would have been perfect for that.
But like you said, you can also, insert random younger goth girl into that role, and I think you'll be able to pull it
But I
off.
would take it to the extreme of doing some of the stuff that even the Joker hasn't done yet to show that crazy side that she does have, because that's kind of what's always made me mad about the Joker. They only go so far. The Joker is way beyond that.
Well, having a homicidal maniac as your lead character kind of lends itself to an R-rated film.
Yeah.
Pick your property, make your case.
You mentioned Spider-Woman earlier. Like, a lot of people don't realize that she used to be a Hydra agent.
Yep.
And that would tie right in with all that Shield stuff you got going on right now. And she's been a triple agent before. She's like right up there with Black Widow in terms of her covers and all that stuff.
She threw more times than my morning pancakes did this morning.
Hail Hydra.
White bald dude saying hail anything kind of lends itself to the. Anyways, guys, thank you so very much for what we're doing. Me personally, I would love to do a Mockingbird movie, see all of her fun, behind the scenes of how she seduced everybody. Guys, it's been a great conversation. People at home, let us know how far off the board we are. Let us know what you think. Let us know who you think would fit a perfect role and where we should get things involved in, man. Until next time, I am Big Pimp and J. It's my man GQ. We got waffles here. Until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, game over.
Like Superman.
He's my cousin.
Wait a minute, wait 1 minute. I mean, you can do the whole number, leap tall buildings with a single bound. You can look right through things.
Yes.
Bend steel bars?
Yes.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Why are you doing this?
Whoa.
Culture Junkies!